Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to You Can't Hear the Game. There we go. Hopefully you can hear the game now. To a dark Empyrion, where my ship is apparently running down the hill away from me. First things first, I will fix the darkness, because we're not going to want this for a live stream. This is kind of going to suck. So, let's deal with the darkness. For now, we're just gonna adjust the time in reverse very slightly to be daylight, and I'm gonna stop time for now, and there we go. And then I'm gonna go and retrieve my hover vessel, which is off down the way. So with that, I'll say good evening to all. Glad to have you along. So this stream may contain minor spoilers, just a warning. Mainly because there is an episode recorded for next week already. There won't be much in the way of spoilers here, but I pick up a few thrusters which are already installed here. But I've got asked in my previous series if I could show some of the rebuilding efforts. So I thought I would. And we're going to start off just by doing some basic repairing. This is definitely going to be our SV. Hello. I've got to remember, this is kind of live game, so anything could happen. We'll turn those off as well, make things look a bit clearer. We're going to go around and repair some blocks up for starters. But essentially, I'm going to be trying to fix this ship up, ready to go. It's flight capable at the moment, as of the end of episode 7, which, as I say, is actually next Saturday's episode. I will be doing some bits to get it flight capable, so spoilers there. But, the blocks need work. So, with that, we're going to start trying to build this thing back up to its former glory. And I'll probably annoy people by not using the drone half as much as they would like. So, like I say, we're going to start off going around just tidying up some of the blocks. And deciding what I need to replace. And quite where everything's going to go. Because at the moment, one of the things I need to fix is the cargo capacity. Because, well, I think the cargo system, I've done a bit of maths. I think the cargo system is all connected up. However, we have a lot of these thin blocks here, which are actually cargo blocks. If I crack out the salvage tool on them, which my other salvage tool is getting fairly low, you'll see it comes up as an extension repository, but these are very CPU inefficient. So what I'm probably going to see if I can do is hook them up to some of these underside blocks maybe, and replace some of those with it, because I'll get much more cargo capacity for my CPU usage. So that will be one of my plans here. But first of all, I need to actually make myself some cargo capacity, because I've been out off camera and got a bunch of blocks, and I don't have very many repository storages anyway. But this is really very full. And this one here is also very full. So I need to start off by laying some blocks in, just to make some storage capacity for myself. So we got some steel blocks, some hardened steel blocks, and we've got a few carbon substrate blocks which we'll use internally. Unfortunately, there is radiation, but it's fairly low, so I'm hoping it's not gonna pose a problem for me throughout the stream here. And is there anything else? That should be in the fridge. Let's put that in the fridge a second. Because again, I will have to survive this episode, so I've got a bunch of food ready to make food. And actually, I've got the small constructor working on fuel, so my ship here doesn't run out of fuel. Because now, actually, if I turn the thrusters off, it'll last a lot longer, and it won't run away. It only tends to run away when you log when you log back into the game. So, with that in mind, let's start laying down some blocks. That's going to be a basic cube. That's going to be a flat block. There you go. And no, actually, that block I might replace later anyway. And this one can be carbon substrate block. Because one thing I do have to be very aware of is if we look at this, we are already over CPU. So any additional CPU I'm using for like cargo storage and the like is going to eat heavily into my CPU supply. So that I need to bear in mind. So with that in mind, let's see. Salvage tool, let's salvage this block right here and have a look at what we've got. There you go, yeah. So what I'm thinking is we'll grab that one. Oh, these are all shaped blocks. That's annoying, isn't it? I kind of want to keep the shaping of the original system. So I'm going to take that one out. I need to be careful here, not to... That's a hardened steel block. Okay, and that one is... That one is steel. And that one is steel. So what I want to do is probably take out that one hardened steel block right there. Have a look at what we've got there. No, that's going to be a tipping away block. So what I'm probably going to do is bring in this one. And we'll have... Yes, we'll have the full one there. We'll have the slightly not full one here. Oh, I can't do that flavor of block, can I? Damn you, game. Okay, so that's gonna have to come back out. This is a problem with building in non-creative. I have to actually remove blocks properly. In which case, let's have a look here. I can fix this by going down the other side and having a look in a minute. Or just fix it a different way by going in my own shape. Which might yet happen. Because this is kind of a weird shape and I need to figure out how to make... I want to make this floor some of my cargo. Because these cargo extensions are going to have to go. That is a steel block. That is an extension. That is an extension. That is not an extension. So I might end up sacrificing some of my rubbish blocks with extensions, which, as you can see, what you get here is it still uses 15 CPU capacity no matter how small it is, even if it's a really tiny block. But you'll see the volume on this one's only 19.5, as opposed to a volume on a full one is 125. So that is quite the difference in terms of size. So I want to make sure I get as much bang for my buck as possible. How am I going to do this, though? Yeah, I think I'm going to change this all together. So this one we'll have as here, and I'll have to sort out the base to look like it later. Hopefully I'll have some fuel on the go by then. And yeah, I'll just stick a full square block here. And it's going to be maybe less interesting on the underside. Actually, no, not a full square block. See, I've changed my mind. This is a problem when people watch me build. I'm constantly changing my mind as to what I want. I'll probably go for like that, even though that's going to use me, again, a bit of a less than totally efficient block. There we go. We'll only grab one of those, or because it's going to be connected through there. And then I can just strip the rest out. And go doink, 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 doink. And I know we're taking away the prettiness of the underside. But it's the way it goes. That I might keep. Maybe, possibly, maybe. I've already extended that down to a full block anyway here to make this work how I want it to. So the other thing I need to be aware of is my oxygen could run out, so I need to be a little bit thoughtful of that. So if I do this, at least for now, it's going to bump my CPU up a bit, but my cargo capacity should be up significantly if we go to it. SV maybe. Yes, the cargo capacity is significantly up. Which is good because I'm now going to take these ones off. So I'm going to remove these. And okay, those I'm probably just going to replace with carbon substrate, I suspect, just to end up just making it look better. Now you'll see according to this, I've run out of these. I can make some more of these, and I probably will shortly. One thing I have to remember is this here is the dividing line between this one, my ammo storage, and my main storage. So just doing that is going to actually have increased my storage significantly, because I'm taking away small ones to become big ones. So that is going to have increased my storage significantly. My CPU, okay, the same as what it was increased a minute ago at, but that's okay. I just want to give myself the grounds to be able to do this later on and extend out the cargo capacity as I want to later on, because at the moment I'm gonna be limited by CPU. But you know, you need to make it sort of work. I'll have to have a look at the underside in a bit once I figured out what I'm doing in here. So none of this, I'm thinking, will be totally exposed on the underside, apart from that block. So that block will need to be steel. And again, carbon substrate, helps keep the weight down. It doesn't actually have, I noticed, it doesn't have the CPU impact it used to have. If you look at it now, I think the, under CPU here, the blocks, like hardened steel blocks have a lot higher CPU usage than they used to, but a steel block uses one CPU, a carbon steel block uses one CPU, so that's not too bad. I still personally kind of dispute the fact that blocks use CPU at all, because why? You know, does do the bricks in your house wall use use processing power? You know, And then I can put this back in as carbon substrate as well. Yoink, yoink, yoink. And this one, I'm going to put one at least hardened steel block there. Then I can put one of those in. And that looks nice. Looks good. Right, let's just check on my general living ability a second. Make sure I'm not going to keel over anytime soon. Oxygen, if you don't mind. I may have one minor flaw in my plan. I'd made the plan to sort of come here and do this as a stream. And one minor flaw in my plan may be that I have not made any provision to have any more oxygen while I'm here, and I'm going to use all that oxygen. So let's quickly fix that. I need some carbon substrate. Okay, not a problem. Hang on. There you go. There we go. Good enough. And I'll make one of those, and I can just chuck it down in a second. Put some of the fuel in it, and we'll have some O2 to stay alive. So you'll notice that at least at the moment I haven't started using mirroring. I will use some mirroring as I get going here. Once I decide what I'm doing with certain areas. Like, I mean, obviously some of these are already mirrored to some extent, and I can just copy the block, which is going to be handy. I'm not sure what went in there. Just a block. So, for example, here, the moment most of my habit is just going to be going, and there's now the copy block mode, so I can just copy the block and put it across. Just like, same with these. And copy it and put a block in. And it saves me a whole lot of work with texturing. Wow, windy. But this is a prime candidate for having a symmetry plane on. So if I... there. Symmetry plane. There you go. And boink. There we go. And texturing. Yes, I mean, you all know what I'm like with texturing. So let's be honest here. It's not going to get textured in this stream, probably. Try and repair up some of these blocks. I mean, there is a bit of a cheat for repairing the blocks. We've discussed it in some of the comments. I can just remove blocks and reinstall them. And that works fine. But it is a bit cheaty. And as I have the repair tool, I may as well use it. For now, at least. Anyway. Until it runs out. And then I'll start cheating. So, some of these as well, these little like just pretty blocks, as I'm looking at them and calling them, that aren't particularly doing any major defense, like this one. This is a prime candidate for being carbon substrated, and it does not exist on that side either. There's quite a bit of rebuilding to do. So what I should have done is, again, tips to save yourself texturing. Take that out. Do this. Press the copy tool. Makes a horrible noise. Yes. Put it in. Done. Haha. And for some reason, it does not copy it on that side. Because reasons. So then we'll copy this one and place it. Oh, hang on. I can't drive me numbers here. There we go. And yeah, there we go. We've got to try and copy this down now. So that comes off of this one. Yeah, there. And this one is actually this one. And let's plonk that in. That one, gonna make a full block. This one, I'll just chuck in one of these. I think that's right. He says, maybe, possibly. Yeah, I think so. I think that's right, isn't it? If I put that one next to there. And then we have, I think that's that one, isn't it? And then we have a small one on the other side. And we have then one of these. So hopefully that's starting to look like the other side. Now this we're going to stack out with some blocks. This one I'm just going to put a triangle block in, but I'm going to copy this one for the texture. So we'll just come through and where are you? Where are you, triangle block? If you have any good suggestions for shaping, I am all ears because my shaping is not the best. Yep. I live with that. And this one I'm gonna copy and I'm just gonna plonk in there. Is that one? That one? Yes. There we go. This is me trying to figure out what blocks go where. At least to some extent, rebuilding someone else's ship is sometimes feels easier than oops, sorry, just moving the mic a bit. Sometimes feels easier than building a new one, but other times it actually feels harder because you're trying to copy someone's existing design. There we go. That seems reasonable. And again, there. I do love this copy block, though. I'm so glad they added that. It just makes life so much easier. I mean, that is one of my favorite additions. I think it's up there with Crouch. I mean, to be honest, as much as Crouch has been an interesting addition, to some extent, to some extent, it's been less interesting as an addition than others because it's not hugely usable. I mean, I've had a couple of instances where it's come in handy, but it's not like super useful yet. But it could be integrated to make it more super useful. There we go, and yes, you as well. The sensor there. Interesting. Turn that round. Perfect. Job is a good one, as they say. Alright, these are... yeah, let's repair one of those. And I'll have that one into there. So yeah, just really giving this a go as a stream. I'm sort of ripping off Spanj's title. Instead of chilling and building, we've got relaxing and repairing. But yeah, kind of felt like actually you no, that's fine. It seemed like it would be worth a try as something just to see if people were interested in seeing how I actually try and repair the ship. Because most of the time I do this off camera. Is that me or does something look... is that just the repair on that? Let's have a look. Is that just... why is there a line there? Is that just the texture on that? I'm assuming that's just an odd texture on that block. It seems weird looking. Okay. So, this is starting to look a bit more like the original ship, and hopefully, yeah, we've gone up a little bit in CPU. But I also have ways of dealing with this, like one of the fridges can go temporarily, and you know, I can always take out a few little bits. What I really like to do is find a T3 core fairly quickly, which if I can get a warp drive and get out, which is the plan, I'm going to jump to another system, and hopefully we'll be looking at getting some T3 core action going on there fairly quickly. Right, let's have a look down this side. Let's copy some of this up. And that way. So put that in. Well, I'll put this one in as a square behind, I think. Just as sort of an ablative layer, as much as anything. Because I think we need to have some sort of an ablative layer there. Because there's a lot of engines in there, and I don't want to find the side of my ship blown off again. So that is very much the same there. What I shall do here, I got less carbon substrate than I planned on. But the wreck you saw me kill that in the last episode, that wreck is now completely gone. This is what that wreck is what I'm using to rebuild us right here. I've basically gone and taken that entire wreck apart at the end between episodes. So that's gonna go. Ew. That is not what I meant to do. If you don't mind, let's try that again. This one, thank you, and in that flavor, please. Still? Okay. Fine, as you wish. Game, we'll sort that out later. So those two are going to be in that flavor, and the rest are going to be steel. That is not how that goes, is it? So this one goes a step out further. I think this one is this one. No. Okay, let's have a look at what block we've got there. Let's do it the cheeky way, where we can steal the block type. Makes life so much easier. There you go. Much better. And that way I can fix it with ease. That is not the block that goes in there. That is definitely not the block that goes there. It is this one. There we go. Now, how is this laid out again on the inside of here? This has a large thruster going in with, and this is where stealing blocks comes in handy, because what I can actually do here, along with the mirror mode, I might have to steal a new salvage tool, which I have spare here, is to steal these blocks out like so, and then put them back in again. So that will help me make sure I've got the right block in the right place. So that was square. Ooh. So that's very tempting to put in as more storage there, which I will be looking at in just a moment. But this one, let's have that one. Take that block 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe this went in, like, because you'll see here I've put in, instead of it having the thruster it's supposed to have, I've put in something else. And that I'm actually probably going to do slightly differently. And this will not now be the same on the other side, because when you take blocks out, it doesn't always go back in as you want. So, hang on, put the drone back. Solve the oxygen problem a second, because I'm going to die. Let's start off. Let's sup on a couple of bottles of oxygen here. Let's grab my oxygen maker right here. Slap that down. If you don't mind, can I have some oxygen? Thank you. This one, we will top up some oxygen some fuel right here. Okay. We might need to see how much I can put here. Yeah, that's good. Let's manage that and top this right up. Excellent. Ship's not going to run out of fuel. This one is making me oxygen, so I'm not going to die. Everyone's a winner, I think. I need to top the fuel up, get some O2 going, get some food going. Just so I'm going to live for now. Let's have a look here. Oh no, I've just disconnected from the thing. Damn it! Foolish move. I wanted the actual constructor, not that. I meant to hit this one. So this one, I want to switch to the fridge. And I want to say, please, sir, make me some of your finest burgers. I'm going to want them. I have to go and put my blocks back on my bar, which is a little bit annoying. There you go. So, with this, how much fuel do we have in here? A little. So I'm not going to take off and go underneath just yet. I will try and fix that later. We'll have a look at that later when I try and figure out. So there was landing gear, that round block, and 2 slopes going down. So what we'll do, I have a plan. Let's take this one as a copy. Take this block. Hey Chaos, how's it going? Good to see you here. It's good to be back, as you may have known from some of my comments in my episodes. I have been away for a while. But my episodes were recorded to make sure there was content available. But obviously live streaming, so I'm back. Alright, let's put all of those back in as that one. Then we'll go this one and this one. Hopefully that will then be replicated on this side. Beautiful. I wonder what this was before. Let's go have a look at that as well. There was nothing, but I am gonna take a few personal license liberties here. Let's just do it how I would have done it, which is that way. And then maybe I would have stuck in that one. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. Maybe. because you got to remember there's going to be a big thruster sticking out of here. So maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. No one will ever know. What I want to do is take... Oh, hello. Wrong thing. Yeah, it's one of those times of... Oh, balls. I forgot to grab the box. Yeah, thanks, Chaos. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, I think you probably missed it, but we're actually like an episode ahead here. There's going to be no major spoilers, but we are technically an episode ahead. Where I've already done some basic repairs. But you know, I gotta get back to recording, and then I'll get us all back up to date, and we'll pretty much be going for the normal recording probably about a week in advance until it looks like I have to go away again, which is just the nature of the beast for my work. So let's grab that one there, and I am going to grab this. No, I'm going to grab this and put that in there, and grab that one. And let's stick that one there. Do you know, some of these could be carbon substrate, though I don't have that much carbon substrate anyway. Spoilers, yes. Nothing much. I'm not going to spoil anything, really, other than the fact that I salvage a few thrusters. You can probably work that out for yourself. Anyway. So, you know, hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler. Because I thought it would be fairly obvious that at some point I was going to salvage thrusters to try and repair this thing. And yeah, we need to try and just rebuild the drive pods here. And get ourselves back to flying. Oh. Oops. You know what I really miss? Just the ability to remove blocks and put them back in like you do in creative. Building in, you know, survival just sucks. Gotta be honest. It's going in here. For now, a couple of blocks. He says, and that is not quite how I want it. See what I mean? You end up taking blocks back out again and having to put them back in to make it how you want it. And yeah, building in survival, not one of my favorite things. There you go. Then I'm going to grab this one. And we'll have to have a look at the underside eventually. But I think right now, I'm not going to look at the underside. I'm going to just pretend it's not a problem. If I put a block on the floor, does it mirror on the other side? Yes. This is what this green thing here does. This is my mirror line. So certain things here, you will see as I put the block in, it will mirror on the other side, but it will not mirror a block if there is already, oh crap, a block inhabiting its space. So you see that mistake I made on that side will now be over here as well. But for example, here there were blocks missing where there are blocks on the other side and vice versa. and it does not mirror. Unfortunately, in survival, because you have to remove with the tool, it does not do it on both sides. So you have to do that manually. Now, if you want to put this line up, you press N, and then there's a little button here for symmetry plane. And straight down the middle of the ship will be your YZ symmetry plane. And then there'll also be XZ symmetry plane for above and below. And there is an XY symmetry plane for through the middle. And you set this by picking a block. So, for example, unfortunately you can't do this. You can't move with the menu up. So if I wanted to mirror right about this block here, I'd go press N, and then I would click that block there. And now I'm mirroring in both directions from that side. But I'm going to take that mirror off, because otherwise the ship is going to look bloody weird by the end of the stream. So it is helpful. It does mirror texturing as well, in theory. However, in practice, that is sometimes less effective, should we say. Because sometimes in practice, that is the texture mirroring is somewhat questionable. Like that. Because that's basically me grabbing that texture block there, which I grabbed from there, and it still comes out wrong. Because of block rotation and funny things like that, it works kind of strange. So, like, what I'm doing here is working out how the original builder has done this on this side. I mean, for example, like here, I gotta be honest, I'm not in love with this, and this is something I have a bit of a problem with, and we might end up doing something about that right now. Is this block is just a steel block, and this generator, I kind of have an issue with it being quite as exposed as it is. Because eventually, even if I take this out, I can pack some cargo extensions and other blocks along here. Like, unfortunately, I know, like, right here is where my cargo system splits, so I need to be a little bit careful here. But putting in, for example, a hardened steel there, probably wouldn't do one there. But cargo extension here as well, and there, and laying this down to be the other way, because it feels a little exposed right there. It feels like if you take, especially given that at the moment I've got no shield. I'm sure I can put a shield in here eventually, but to have this generator, effectively the top of it right here, and just this block on top, you take one good hit there and you're going pop. So I've got a feeling, if we have a look there, that is that block right there. Sorry, I'm just working out where I'm shooting the block out here. So here, that's a steel block on this side, and there is still a generator here. So that's what I'm after. I'm taking that one out. And then I will probably take that steel block below again and just replace that with a hardened steel. And I'm thinking to put the generator going that way. And that's fine, because here is where the warp drive is going to be, so that's not a big deal. There's a fuel tank here as well, which, again, not totally in love with. But at least it's got a little bit more protection. I am tempted to take that fuel tank out, though. How many fuel tanks have I got? at the moment. I've got quite a few fuel tanks. It wouldn't hurt, it wouldn't kill me to lose one. And if I can get the drone down in here, I'm doing some repair in some place. I'm doing a bit of both. See, I could always chuck it down here. Yeah, I'm gonna take that one out and save myself the pain and suffering of having that explode in my face. And that one's gonna go down there somewhere. Let's put, where are you? You're here, and the generator's here. So we'll put those back in. Oh, that way. Yep, you can go in there. Better. I mean, look, if I get shot that bad in the ass that it's, you know, that's gonna blow up, then okay, I'm a dead duck. But there you go. So this one is now gonna go this way, and that will get mirrored, so both of those will get used. And then I can just pack this out again. And I'm tempted, I could put O2 tanks in there. I'm not against putting O2 tanks in there, but I'm not over struck on having fuel tanks there, where they're liable, where one good hit can really just destroy you. Is it me? Or is that block at a different height on this side? It is, isn't it? Ah, what? What? That is that block? Nah, I don't like that at all. Not having that. Not having that. That's not how that's gonna be. So this we can do like this. And I know this makes the ship heavier. Does it take 2 blocks on the mirror on the other side? No. In creative, yes. In creative, what you would do is to remove a block, you would have this block and you would hold down shift, and then you would right click and it will remove the block. Whereas here, no, it's not going to do that. Survival is a bit trickier from that point of view. Well, I'll have to texture that another time. But yeah, I'm happier with that in terms of a protected generator. I'm not sure which ones are which. So in terms of repairing, which I almost screwed up there, I have a tool which does repair blocks, which is strictly speaking a Star Salvage thing. Whereas the one that normally you could do it all with a multi-tool. Star Salvage, being that it's all around salvage, is a little bit different in how it does things. But ultimately, I enjoy the gameplay of Star Salvage. It's a really different way of doing it. It makes me approach the problems in different ways. And unfortunately, that is bust on both sides. So, see, the other thing I can do, I'd be tempted to do later on, is take a bunch of these blocks back out again and put additional storage in. But I've just not got the CPU for it at the moment. So what I'd be tempted to do is just stick myself a carbon substrate there. That one's going to be steel. Yoink. And those two are going to have to be steel. Yeah, it very much, it doesn't change the whole game. I mean, you still have the Xerax, you still have the normal things like that. But having said that, I haven't managed to make it all the way through the story yet. I think that's still a work in progress by KnowItALL. So yeah, it doesn't change the whole game, but it does change. It changes the way you approach the game, is how I would put it. It very much changes how, at least I approach the game, because you go from it being an approach where you grind ore, get shit. Here, there is no ore to grind. So you find ship, you repair ship, and you get things going again. And that means that when you come across all these other wrecks around, they're much more important to you, because you're not looking at them like, oh, it's a wreck, quickly check the boxes and move on. You're like, well, what's worth stealing? You know, what's worth taking? Okay. You know what? This is actually starting to look like a ship. Ah, it looked like a ship before, but you know. I'm slightly overdoing it there. But it's starting to look like it's supposed to be a ship, not a wreck. I wonder, have I got one of those? I was tempted not to use them because I think they use like silly amounts of CPU, or they used to. Let's have a look. Do I have one of those? This is a wing part, isn't it? Is what that is. That's a wing part. I don't think I kept any wing parts when I was running around. I did not. So, okay. That one is not getting done. This one... yeah, I mean, with the salvaging, you just go around and yeah, you see what's good. And KnowItALL was saying to me that he intends to make a few adjustments to some of the things, so that essentially a generator for an HV can be used in SV and vice versa. Some of which can be done already if you look in things, and I think that's standard Empyrion. Is that, sorry, he was talking about constructors, not generators. The generators are swappable, but the constructors are not. But he wants to make them so that they are, and I think that's fair, because ultimately they have the same restrictions in terms of what they can make, so there's no reason that they shouldn't be swappable. It seems completely reasonable to me to make them swappable. We need this one. That one goes there. Beautiful. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. How is this supposed to look? Like that. And I'm going to use a couple of these now. Just because it makes that funny noise. I think that's when you're using like a carbon substrate block, but you're aiming at a steel block, so it doesn't pick up the texture and the thing properly. Yeah, gonna run out of oxygen. Did I put ammo in the ammo container? At the moment, no. Well, yes, apparently. Yes, apparently I did. It wasn't a judgment thing. I've just probably chucked it in there to store it as much as anything else, because I will worry more about ammo and things like that when I'm actually looking at flying it away. And I mean, I'll be honest, when we get, after I've repaired this, next stop will probably be space. Or if I can chase it down, that goddamn junk drone. I want that junk drone. I have been reading comments, and I have seen there are secrets of the junk drone, which I want. I want its secrets. So I want the junk drone. So let's do that. How many? How does this look on this side? Goes across, then down. Okay, no worries. I can do that. So this one, then steal this block. I hope no one gets motion sickness, because you might get a little bit of motion sickness as I jump around with the drone to make my life easier. There you go. Beautiful. There is not a butt ton of reverse thrust on this thing, I have noticed. This is something I was looking at. There is not a butt ton of reverse thrust here. I am going to be strongly looking at adding some. And whether that ends up going, for example, in here, or something along those lines, there's definitely going to have to be some additional reverse thrust. So at the moment, you've just got 2 thrusters, which are, I mean, these are what? These are thruster S's. They're reasonable thrusters, but we are not going to stop. Rad intake, yeah, I trimmed it off. I should be pretty good. I'm at 0.2. I know it's got the, makes the constant rad sound. I mean, I could, to be honest, save you all from it by going, no I can't. Ambient volume, I can bring that down a bit. Maybe make that a little bit, less aggressive. I might have to turn it up again at a later date so I don't forget that I'm being irradiated. No, it's still doing it. But yeah, I think my radiation protection on my suit is actually pretty high. It's like 2, yeah. So I'm actually only taking 0.2 rads, so I'm not too bad. But I appreciate you making a point, because one of the things I did do before I did the stream is I went and got my back to the little trader post that we found very early on, and took myself a shower, so I was all deradded. There you go. Shiny. Let's repair the thruster. That would be a good idea. Yeah, at the moment I'm basically on the edge of CPU and I need a thruster to go in here. I need, well, quite a lot of thrusters. How do you copy blocks? Okay, so have said block in hand. In theory, it should be the same flavor as in steel, hardened steel or whatever, but it does copy, but not perfectly. If you do the other one, then you press down Control and you right click. You'll notice it makes that funny sound if it's the wrong type of block, whereas if it's this block, it just makes a standard click. And you'll see down in the bottom right hand corner, it now says steel block S, and it shows me the texture that I've copied. So if I pick that one, it shows me I'm picking different textures. So it's pretty cool. You mean this one, and this one? Yeah, if I I've basically nabbed down what thrusters I can find, which you'll actually see in the next episode where I get thrusters from. I have not found any of these giant great thrusters kicking around yet on the planet. If I do, I'll be sure to use them. But yeah, I'm basically right on the edge with CPU. I'm 96% here. And I need to stick a warp drive in here yet. So I might end up picking some thrusters off at a later date to put some warp drive on, or taking some guns off. There are 2 reverse thrusters there and there. But yeah, I would like more, and eventually there will be more. I don't quite know where it's going to go. Maybe up here. On top of here, I might put like another thruster. But I'm definitely going to be adjusting in some additional reverse thrust, because yeah, stopping is not going to be this vehicle's strong point at the moment. Going forward is definitely going to be a strong point, but stopping, not so much. So, and as is, I think we've got quite a lot of just excess blocks here, which I'll probably end up trimming into cargo storage at a later date. But as I say, as CPU is a concern, and cargo storage uses 15 per every block, I'm going to be a little bit careful at the moment. Yeah, well, I could do that. I could tuck a thruster there and there. I would want to put something over the top of it, just like these, for example. Like, what I might end up doing is putting a thruster in the middle there and putting some of these over the top of it, because I don't like having my thrusters exposed. But if I'm struggling for CPU, I could just rip a GAT off. That's no big deal either. I mean, the GATs are 1500 on their own. So what I need to look at here is quite how I'm gonna tackle this. Because actually, I'm gonna remove this block to make a point. Steel block, steel block. That's hardened steel block. So that hardened steel block there, I believe, is the hardened steel block directly below the core on the other side. I'm going to go back into drone mode. Yeah, so these hardened steel blocks here, I've put here because that's where the core is, and that's where the CPU is going to be, and all of that. So I don't want to risk taking too many heavy shots right here, because that's going to wind up with me suffering. But yeah, I could downgrade some of the hardened steel blocks. I don't have that many hardened steel blocks. More than I thought. 136, but it's only going to save me at best 500 CPU, which would get me back into CPU, but it's not very much. I've got 3 generators, and a few things like that. I could probably strip out some other bits, 2 Gatling guns. Like, if I really have to, I can take the constructor out or something like that. But yeah, I mean, some of the lower level stuff here that was hardened steel, I would be tempted to downgrade, because, as you say, that would save me some CPU. Now, what I want to do here is... So, here's going to be my plan. Yes, that is also part of the plan, is have a bloody shield as soon as I can. Okay, so here is part of the long-term master plan here. Let's chop myself up with a bit more oxygen in a second. So, what I want to do with this ship and this ship is I want them to become the best of friends. Why are we not taking off? Up, please. So my plan is that this ship will hopefully... This is probably not going to work, but was hopefully going to be able to dock into this ship. Now, what that means for modifications, not entirely sure here. This one, after my modifications, is a little wider than I planned it to be. So, that's not perfect. But what I wanted to do was to get them to fit together. So as it can pick up my HV and effectively carry it to where it needs to go. Oh, it's weird driving in reverse. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. So, yeah. My plan is to try and get the two to fit together here. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I mean, what I could just do is build like... Go do something like... like I'm Back to the Future. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Hang on. Where is it? Now I really want to do this. Let's grab the survival tool here. Oh, that is an extension. Damn it. I don't want to break my extension system. Will that break my extension system? Oh god, what's going on? Right, let's just check. Did I just break my extension system? Let's just check. HV, yes, that one. And harvest repository. Nope, still good. Okay. So, the plan would be to do something like oh, I'm doing hardened steel blocks here. No. Wrong block. Repair. Good. Right, let's try that again. Steel block. This one. This one. And should be able to go... Yeah, this one. Oh. And that's also not gone according to the master plan. Might have to adjust that in a bit. We'll worry about that later, he says. You can't do it like that, can you? Let's see. I'm sure there's a block for this. See, I've got waylaid now. I've got distracted. I'm sure there's a block for this. It's like this one, yeah. So what I want to do is get a block like this one. And go like I'm Back to the Future. And stick a little landing gear up there. So I can connect to it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like a little you know, like the DeLorean from Back to the Future had the thing that was like on the back of a Dodger. You know, had the little thing to catch the lightning from the clock tower when it came across the wire. I'm gonna have one of those, but instead it's gonna be a landing gear to attach to my SV. That is not going to work. That's not going to be how I want it to be, because if I do that, it will actually... So that can be like that, but that needs to be like this. And then you put like the landing gear on there. So then you put like, what's it, like, where'd it go? It was here a second ago. Let's go for that one. I think, this one. You put your landing gear like that on there. And then hopefully you can connect to the ship. What I might need to do is change this round and have a little pickup point. The other thing I could do is just trim some of these blocks out so as you can do it a bit better. That is the other approach, is just to take this off. Like so. And bring this up a lot faster. And just be able to reverse it back in a bit more and connect it up. You take that off, and then we'd hopefully it won't work. Why won't it work? I'm sure it's going to work. It's the master plan. It's got to work. Hang on. I need to get my positioning right here. So, why don't you think it'll work? Is that of interest? As, you know, open to suggestions here. This'll work. This'll work. It'll be beautiful. I don't want to make it under the ship. I want to make it so this thing tucks into the nose of the ship. Don't ask me why. If anything, I'm going to end up widening this out so it can go in. Because that, if I get this right, will work. I'm pretty sure I have done something very similar once before. So, for the moment, I'm just going to take this out a bit further back. Let's see. Sure. Widening will definitely work. 100% widening will work. I'm not sure what this is anyway. But if I do that... Hang on. You see? It's an ambitious creation, he says. Like this. Oh, come on. So close. So close. There you go. I'm connected. Haha! I'm docked. Just like that. Perfect. No, we do. You can dock an HV to an SV. I have done it. I have 100% done it. In fact, in one of my previous series when I got, I know making it under the ship to some extent helps. I'm with you there. but it's not the look I'm going for. I understand where you're coming from there, but I have docked HVs to SVs plenty of times, with them docking on top or putting something there. I mean, in my ideal world, I would widen this out and I would actually have the landing gear like, I believe you can do this as well, but the landing gear right here, and I will reverse the whole thing in and connect it to the pad here and dock it in like that. That's how I would like to do it. Is, for example, bring these two bits out, have a docking pad and a docking pad, or even maybe you can get away with, there's a 1x1 somewhere under the T2 pads, which I think I might have one kicking around here, on the landing gears. But yeah, effectively you get the landing gear on, comes back, and you connect to here. But for that, I might have to strip out the side of the ship a bit and bring it out a block, which is gonna be a little bit painful to bring it all out one block. I think it will work, because get in. Oh, hang on, there you go. Because yeah, you can definitely dock like this. But yeah, what I'd like to do, like I say, is be able to reverse the whole thing way back in and dock it. Slim the HV a bit. That is not a bad plan. I mean, I needn't really have these too wide on here. I just stuck them on here because I could, and because I had them and I didn't have any singles, so I could put some extra singles down the middle and put some singles there, and then just slim the HV down by a block as well. But yeah, as is, it might be a bit of a mishmash temporary mashup here. I mean, this is where I wish I had creative tools, because I could just grab this section and pull it out one block. But as it is, I've got to do the whole thing by hand. Oh, nope. So you'd have to actually go through, which I'm probably going to do now. Now I've started. And take the whole thing out another block. I'm going to move this back one. Bring the whole thing out another block. So effectively, I'm going to grab... I want to do this on both sides at the same time is the tricky bit, without completely destroying how this thing looks. Which is not going to be so easy. Oh, stop doing that stuff. So, I'm going to grab this. Go up one like that. And go down through here, like so. Then we're going to go back, grab this block, that one, and that one. Oh. Yeah, well, that was that one, yeah, fair enough. That one, and that one, and nope, that one. I'm going to do it like that. Build the whole thing out one block at a time. God, this is where I wish I could just take it into creative and just... I mean, I could take it into creative and just do it and respawn it, but, you know, I kind of want to be fair that I'm doing it properly. So, but yeah, if this was the case, normally I would just be taking this thing into creative and respawning it. And this, as much as it's not going to like it, can be carbon substrate. This can be carbon substrate. Okay, let's put it that side, because then I don't have to mess around rotating the block. So, and then we get, oh, I've just done it in steel. Oh well, steel now. So this one will be this one, and this one, and this one. So I'm cutting it in half. A bit. I wouldn't say in half. In half's harsh. I'm showing it love-ish, sort of. So the idea is I'm not moving that back like just one block. Here and now, this is gonna have to come out another block. So now when we start doing this, this is now gonna have to move out one more block, is the plan. What? To cut the ship in half? I mean, sure, there's other ways to cut the ship in half, especially in creative mode. But in survival, it's a touch more difficult. But yeah, there might be other ways to do it. I can't think of any right now off the top of my head. Uh-oh. Help! I mean, if you got any good suggestions of how I can cut the ship in half without cutting the ship in half, I'm listening. I'll give it a go. To save time, do a simple hookup. Absolutely could do a simple hookup to save time, for sure. The whole reason I'm doing a stream is because I want to mess around with it. So, saving time. Saving time is for those people who want to save time. I mean, you could definitely, as you say, save time by doing this a different way. So what I want to do is that block is actually going to go there. Okay, so I'm just working out how we're going to do this. So this is actually behind the guns, a bit behind the gun. And I want this to be out one block further, don't I? So that one block further is going to be that block. So that block. So that block will be that block. And so on and so forth, he says. So then, this block, and that block, and this block, and that block. And, oop. And that block is then also going to have to come out there, which is kind of going to ruin some of the look a little bit. But what I might do is do it like that, and then I'll think about how I do this in a minute. We might just fudge that in a slightly different way to look slightly different. Might give us room to stick a thruster in, who knows? So those I'm going to take off. Those I'm going to take off now. So same here. Take these off. I'm going to strip it right down now. Yeah, I mean, a temporary hookup. Yeah, I've done plenty of temporary hookups on them before. What I'm looking to do is make this vessel functional in the longer term. Is my aim here. And functional in terms of taking me to other places with this HV in tow. So that's why I'm sort of persisting in approaching it this way. Don't make it too heavy or you won't get it to lift off. Trust me, this thing is going to have no trouble lifting off. This thing has like, yeah, remaining thrust 1.9 meganewtons. We're fine. We'll be fine. This thing has ludicrous thrust. If there's one thing it's got an excess of, its thrusters. Once you make the arms wider, you could turret on either side. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it on top of a Gatling gun. Or do you mean up here? Put a turret up here on either side? I mean, at the moment, I've just taken some GATs out. But where are you thinking? Are you thinking side turrets? Or are you thinking, like, a GAT on either side on the top here? Because that could work too. Right, so this one. Side turret. Okay, yeah, I'm tempted to still keep the GATs, I'll be honest with you. But I do like the idea of top turrets on either side. Maybe even underslung turrets. And this I'm gonna change already. Because I think I know what I want to do to make that look how I want it to be as well. So we're going to grab this flavor block. And I'm going to bring that one up. That one. And chuck in a square one here just for good measure. And this is actually the wrong way round, but screw it. Yeah. Actually, turrets versus GATs. GATs use more CPU than a turret. So an actual like aimed Gatling gun like this one is I think this one is 150,000 CPU, and this is about 600. You'll be able to look at it here a second. If we look at this one, for example, on the CPU, 2 Gatling guns. Okay, these are, I'm slightly wrong there. That's 720 each. Versus the turret is 900. Okay, I stand corrected. I thought it was more. I stand corrected. So that one is 720 versus. Oh, that's like that's a. Oh, that's an SV turret. So and on the SV it's even more. That's 1100. You're right. They're way more. So yes, stand corrected there. And here's a thought. So, if I put another block here and on there, and then I put blocks. Actually, oh, take it away again. I gotta run around the other side, take it up, go around the other side, take it away. If I put a thin one in, this one, for example, and then yeah, I have enough generators. My CPU is a little bit on the tight side. We are right. Well, since I took the Gatling guns off, I'm okay at the moment. But yeah, my CPU will be, once I put the 2 Gatling guns back on, be a little bit on the tight side. So what I was thinking is to put this down this way. 1, 2, 3. And then I can put a reverse thruster in there. Now, important life question. Once I've stripped all this out, before we get too carried away here, and put this back in a minute, but let's strip this out to where I want it to be. And let's get rid of this bit now. Yoink. And quickly, I'm just going to get rid of... Oh no, I've taken that one out there. That one there. So I'm just going to stick a basic block in here for a minute. Yoink, yoink. And because eventually, I'm sure there's a 1x1 docking thing, so I will use that. But what I want to make sure is, can I actually park this thing in there now before I go too far? So, why can I not drive you? What's just happened? Are we powered on? Powered up? Yes. Are we docked? What are we? Are we docked? We are. Oh god. Oh god, it was docked. The warp drives use a lot of power. SV warp drive? How much? What's the power usage on an SV warp drive? I thought they were fairly light on power because it's the pentaxid. Might be wrong on that one as well. SV. Let's look in engineer just because. Warp drive? Is it an exploration? Nope. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I thought it was in here. I might just be going blind. It wouldn't be the first time. No, because this is stuff I can make. So what I have to look in is engineering. So, HV, starter block, TV, SV, warp drive, short range warp drive. How much power are we talking? Energy in, 25 power units. No, that's not a lot. Yeah, unfortunately, I think because I had a dock pad that was docked, and now I don't, I'm going to have to sort of fudge it. So, like this. There you go. And then maybe I can get it to work that way. Or I can just power off, power on. See if that works. Nope. there is ways and means here to deal with this. Because what I can do is, if this doesn't want to work, I will literally just log out and log back in again, and that should fix it. Whee! Look, I can take off, and it's docked. It is docked. So that's fine. You should have 6 fuel tanks, and 6 generators. Pah! 6 generators. Sorry, Bill, but I've never had 6 generators on anything with a warp drive. Not 6, well, maybe 6 small ones, but not 6 doubles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save and just exit and come back in again. And you'll see my myriad of 1,000 saves here as I load back in. And hopefully that will fix it. But it's got 3 generators, and that'll be more than enough for a warp drive. Warp drive 25 PU. I think you might be thinking of shields. Because shields, I would 100% agree with you. I think I've broken it. Come on, disconnect. I've broken things. Now I don't know how to get this working. And my time has gone back to dark mode. Let's have it back to light, if you please. There you go, and time speed, yep, there we go, get rid of that. Right, plan is going to be take off every landing gear, see if that works. Right, is that all the landing gears? Because yeah, I mean, on warp drives don't tend to affect power very much, but they do affect, let's trash that, even though I could probably sell it, but they do tend to affect shields a lot. Okay. Now I don't know how to fix this. Remove the docking pads. Back the HV better so you can form around. Yeah, I would, but unfortunately, according to the HV, it is docked to the SV, and I can't get it to undock. At the moment, I've removed all the landing pads from it, yet it is still docked. Yeah, well, if I move the SV a bit, I'm still attached. As soon as I move the SV, you will see the ship is still attached. So I'm not quite sure. I should not have done what I did. Which is, I didn't realize it was still docked. What I might have to do is, here's a thought. If I put a landing pad on it in the correct plane that it was docked on, maybe that is the thing. So, for example, if I get this and just again just build myself out basic yoink, yoink. No, is that even gonna work? Is that even, probably won't let me place the landing gear that close. And yeah, probably won't let me place landing gear that close, but if I do that, so we have a landing gear in plane. Okay, that worked. Had to be in plane. That was the problem. Oh, nope, don't destroy that one. I want that one. Oh, your repair tool's damaged, okay. Fine, there we go. Yeah, there we go. All fixed. So, now take these back off. Don't want those. Have those back on. Go back to landing gear. And yeah, I could always have one that way, couldn't I? But for now, we'll do it this way. Boink. Oh, I've done that wrong. That was foolish. I'm sure I did that wrong, didn't I? Yeah. Right, that way and that way. And also, I need to turn my symmetry plane back on again before I forget. There we go. And just turn it off now for visibility, but let's have it available to me. So now, like that, I believe if I turn my thrusters back on, don't you start that. Now, I mean, I'm on a bit of a weird plane here, so it makes life a bit more difficult. And because I'm using this, it also makes life a bit more difficult. But yeah, should be able to back up and get it in, he says. Is the plan. Alright, let's have a look here at what's stopping things. Because eventually you need to work out what's stopping stuff. Which in this case is that. So, you see what I could do is put some thrusters in here. And build this line out one more. Like so. And I'll worry about the texture in a minute. But like that. And then I think that will give me enough. Because what I'll do as well is I'll take this off a second. It's going to seem a bit weird. But what I'm going to do, and this, now I might pay for this later in terms of something, because I have seen some weird interactions occur before. So we're going to see if something actually happens here with this. But now, what I've seen before is if you're inhabiting the same space as another block with a docked vessel, with a docked block, you can sometimes have difficulties, shall we say? Meaning that the whole thing does not dock well, and you start getting them passed through each other as vehicles. Okay, why are we not turning? Pilot mode on. No. Let's turn pilot mode on. Okay, and there we go. Let's go. There we go. Nope, nope. This is where things get fun. Come on. Why can't I dock? Oh, it's not wanting to do it because I'm inhabiting the same space, I think. And you can have an issue with that, yeah. Ugh. And when I'm in this mode, see, I'm not docking. Star Salvage sim does not work all the time. How do you mean? They sometimes act as full blocks. They sometimes act as half block, as part blocks. You're right. Their collision is sometimes a little bit on the funky side, which is what I'm wondering about, because you can get issues with that. I've had it where if you park like an SV in a CV on part blocks, but for example here, I would expect us to be getting a dock right there. It's press 0 and turn N off. But I would be expecting that to give me a dock signal. You know. I would expect that to be docking. Yeah. Ah! I was missing the block! Just like that. Actually, you need to turn the thrusters off because that is going to do some weirdness. But there you go. You see there, I can put the block this side. I cannot put the block. So I mean, again, what I could do is bring this down to just singles and narrow this in, which I will probably do. And then I will change this block as well. And then I think it will fit better. But yeah, then I think I'll probably actually end up putting a couple of thrusters in here for my additional reverse thrust. And this we can sort out, no problem. Oh, weirdness occurring. That's because I've turned the thrusters off. I can't thrust forwards. There we go. Right. Let's drop that back down again. I've got to remember I've got no gear on the underside. But that's okay for now. Did I not stop time this time? I thought I stopped time. Really? It's just terrible, terrible weather? Okay. Fine, we can fix that as well. Don't mind me using console commands, but isn't it weather clear? No, it's clear weather, isn't it? Oh no. There you go. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I know you can have some strange stuff happen with CVs. I've seen it where you have like part blocks, and if you park on a part block, sometimes the two sort of phase through each other. It's very weird, but certainly happens. So what I'm thinking is I need to keep this here, but I'll tidy this up in a bit, because this will need to be, I'm gonna grab like that, and that can go like that. Sure. That can go like so, like that, and I'll try not to stick the block in there. What I'd love to be able to do with those round ones is go an extra one, but that's not going to be how that's going to be. It's going to have to be one of these. You know, have one that slants over 2 blocks. And why am I not turning this symmetry plane back on? Yeah, I think everyone gets the keys mixed up. I especially get mixed up when especially if I'm switching between games as well. Stuff like that, then I really get myself confused, because I'm sometimes building in Space Engineers and I'm sometimes building in Empyrion, and the two are not exactly the same, but they're kind of similar. That can be a little confusing. Couldn't find it, so I'll just grab it from there. I know it's there somewhere. There you go. And then this one. What flavor block am I going to do there? I'm thinking like that. And then have, say, this come out and shrink down. So this is like a pad zone. Ah, no O2. Right, where is one of those? Slap one of those in for fun. Slap one of the carbon substrates in. Just there, just because I want a block in there, but I don't want to carry the weight. I'll do it there as well. Don't worry about that later. Yeah, I might end up changing this out. I'm not a fan of how the round blocks go into things. Oh yeah, I'll you know, building ships does get easier the more you do. I actually, not for this series, but spoiler alert, I've been building a ship for my plans for an upcoming thing, which I was building actually while I was away, and I'm actually really pleased with how the ship turned out, and I've started to take a lot of approaches that I didn't used to take. And used a lot of different blocks that I wouldn't normally have done. So I was quite happy with that. So what I'm gonna do, he says, is do, I think, this. And then this. And what I'm hoping is if I have that there, I'm going to step this back and then out again. So as it's got a bit of form to it. So what we'll do is take those two out there and there. There. And then you end up stepping these back in. Like that. and then back out again. So what is that? And then go back the other way a bit this way. Like so. So as that ends up with a bit of shape to it and a bit of shape to it and a bit of form. Yeah, but surely a Star Salvage blueprint is a bit of a misnomer, isn't it? Or is that just in my head? Because non-PvP zones and other things. O2, yes, good point. Good point, well made. What I should be doing is going here, saving myself the hassle and just yoink, yoink, like that. And then I can just chuck the rest in the actual hover vessel O2 tank. Ah, look, there's tons. That hover vessel's got tons of O2 capability. There you go. Thank you, Divine. Don't love that. That one and that one, isn't it? Yeah, ships. Alright. So after you built them up, you blueprinted them and put them on the workshop. Is what you say, I believe. And there's a thing for this, isn't there? I never remember. This is where my brain starts losing it on the blocks. It is. I want to say this one. Nope. It is not that one. Oh, which block is it? Why is my brain stopped? Why don't I know which block it is anymore? Ooh. That one. That one. That one. Yes. That's one. Okay. So, and not actually how I want that to go. We'll see about that one in a minute. But it's so hard getting a transition from these to straight or something like that. It is really difficult. Actually, now I know what I'm gonna do. There, I think. I will do this. But then I will do says this. And then you bring that along the side here with is this actually looking like thing? Yes, good. Just checking before I screw it all up. You do that and bring that along the side. And that's going to cover the Gatling gun. Yeah, I find it... Whatever is out there is slowly using up all my ammunition. So what I might end up doing is thinning this out to a half block as well. To get that down. But then take this flavor and we're going to go for something that sort of covers the area, but not covers it completely. Like that. Or, for example, this. But probably with that texture, I think. And then we'll put that in after. Ah. Well, the texturing there was a raging success. Because the texturing all ended up on the wrong side. I'll probably step that in after that block, I reckon. It's just to give it some form there. Because that's where the Gatling guns will go eventually. And this bit, see, I kind of like this bit, so I might end up bringing this back down one and then leaving it there and doing something with that, because I like that shape there. I like the fact that has like these little bits. I like them. Don't get dust bunny mixed up with blocks, right? Space edge. Sorry, what did you say before? Oh, space edge. Oh, space engineers are different. Yeah, I find that. Yeah, like Divine says, it's one of these things where, with like space engineers, the different way of building sometimes confuses me if I go from one to the other. So, yeah. Go like that side. Because if I go that way around, I don't think I like that as much. That fits a little better. Choices. Because if I go the other way around, which I kind of like for other reasons, it fits like that, which I quite like because I'm going to use a little edge if I had another carbon substrate block, which I don't have, and I can't build, or at least I don't think I can. Can I build carbon substrate blocks? I can build carbon substrate blocks. Hang on. In that case, I would like some of your finest carbon substrate blocks, please. 100 might be overkill. And then stop using my bullets. Okay, turret, I'm turning you off. If I get ganked, though, I'm not gonna be happy. Yeah, takes a long time to get used to blocks, and to this day, I would not say I'm used to all the blocks. I think a bit like we were saying, the more you build, the more you get used to the blocks in terms of like the awareness wise. You become aware of how you can use some of the other blocks in a different way. But I mean, from my point of view, I think the biggest point is you get and this is something I'm only starting to sort of get to, is you get to a bit where, and this is something Splitsie used to say, for space engineers is where you will use blocks for texture, not go for everything being smooth. Like you'll purposely put a block in, like this one for example, for texture, or having these things uneven for texture and look. And that is something I personally am very much still working on getting better at doing. Right. What I would like to have done is use this one, but with that edge on one side. But I don't think such a block exists. It's a shame. But instead, I'm just going to do that. And just pray that no one notices. It'll be fine. And I'm going to take it straight back off again. I'm still not happy with it. I'd certainly be interested to see some of your builds if you've got some Dutchmen. Be happy to see if you link them in the comments or something at some point. I would happily have a look at using, because I try to avoid using things like Randall builds and that all the time, because everyone uses Randall builds. So I have a tendency to try and avoid using things like Randall builds. So I would happily take options as to not use Randall builds. I'll think about where that one's going to go. And there I was thinking that hopefully by the end of this stream, I would have the ship all tidied up and ready to go. Instead, I ended up taking it apart a bunch. Which, doesn't matter, it was my choice, but it can be how you plan these things. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a different sort of design of ship. I'm all for that, and I mean that's why I think different builders have different approaches, and some people go for very sleek and smooth, others go for a bit more spiky and things like that, but that's all good. So we need to go from there to there. And that is gonna be not quite how I would have liked it to be either. Much better. Much better. There is no block in the world that's actually going to fit in that gap, but that doesn't matter. It's just how it's going to be. Because it's like here. Here I'll have to do something about the transition here. Because this is all going to be a bit weird, but that is part of the course. It's also one of the difficulties of building in survival, because it's just makes it very difficult. because you put that in, there is just no block that fits in that. Oh no, there's a block that fits in that zone. I think there is a block that fits in that zone, actually. There I was thinking there isn't one. There is a block that goes in that one. It is that one. Right there. But for example, that one is done. That will be that. But this transition is going to be a bit more difficult. That transition might have to be finagled or something, because you would go naturally into this block, and unfortunately there's not much. The only way to sort of transition that block is to go with this one, I believe, and then you transition like that. So that one has to go. Not quite sure how you mean. What, you do very big ships? Do you mean by get lost in them, or do you mean they just get lost in the Steam Workshop? Which, I mean, sadly happens to a lot of people's builds, I think, unfortunately. You know, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, gonna go with that one. Yeah. Need to eat. Am I cooking? I am too hot. Okay. Fine, let's just sit in here a second while I eat a burger. It's because I've set the time of day high enough that I'm cooking. Go on, eat up. Thank you. That's fine. Let's go for changing the time of day ever so slightly. No, let's change it back to slightly cooler. There we go. Perfect. Hi, KnowItALL. How's it going? Yeah, so some ships like that, which are just absolutely huge, I find a bit too much to deal with as well. I don't want a ship I get completely lost in. It's a little bit too much. Yeah. That looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. I'm going with this. I'm loving it now. This is exactly how I wanted this to look. Honest. You know, the original designer of this ship will be like, "What the hell did you do?" Yeah. Well, I'm actually an episode ahead to where this stream is. So there's a few bits that have gone on here in the background, but yeah, I've been away for a while, but now I'm back, and while I had recorded some while I'm away, we're pretty much all caught up, and now I'm gonna be getting back to recording my next episodes of Star Salvage not too far in the future. And I'm, you know, repairing up my ship for it to be the wonderful boat that's gonna take me to the stars. But hopefully I've done this right, and the plan is that I can actually park this little baby into the other ship, and it's gonna go absolutely perfectly. Honest, it's gonna park like a dream, just like that. See, Lovely. Perfect. It's... See, it's a thing of beauty when it works. I mean, in reality, it would never fly because it would just, you know, think. But then you can land and just go. My genius plan. Yeah, well, when I saw this one, I was like, "Yep, I want this. This is my new. This is my new SV." So for the time being, I think. Where's my HV here? Where are those Gatling guns? Where did they go? There. I will put the two. I'm gonna put 2 Gatling guns in. I'm not gonna put any more than that for now, because my CPU level just can't take it. So those 2 are gonna go in. And this one, I think. In there. And how am I doing this? Is that going to be that one or the other one? I think that one. Yeah. Like that. But this one, I'm probably going to bring in either like that, or I think probably the one before. Bring it in back there. No. No. Change of heart. Going in that way. And I'm putting the tiny little slither one right down the side here. Yep. I'll put something in there later on. But yeah, this SV is actually really nice. I like it. I have plans for it. I'd almost be tempted to extend this a block further as well forward. I might end up doing that. But I think that will end up being off camera if I decide to do that. Because everyone's seen me tear this apart enough right now. And then try to start moving things around. Yeah, the green wall is symmetry plane. You get it by, if you press N, you have symmetry plane here. You see it turn it off. And these are the different flavor planes. You can have all 3 at once if you want. If you want to build, I don't know, a cube. And yeah, very handy. I 100% wish that in Space Engineers you could do that. You could actually have the symmetry plane as well. Right, I'm doing up top. I should actually use the bloody drone. I'm terrible for not using the drone. Thoughts of a name for it? No. Kevin. I will. I'll take suggestions on the name. You got a good suggestion? What I was thinking is, can I get this out? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But this then goes up. So I could get a turret on there later. That would work. So like that. So yeah, so far the best I've got is Kevin the SV. Can't even remember what I called my new ship I built the other day. Now I came up with some wonderful name for that. The Claw. The Claw's kind of apt. I like it. The only problem is I now want there to be like a symbol in the texturing thing that has like the aliens from Toy Story. I want to be able to go like, the claw, it moves. Yeah, the claw is very apt, actually. So yeah, this bit I may refine a little, but yeah, it's now it does now have some big, great jaws on it. So yeah, I'm still tempted to move this forward 1 block, just because of the way this looks, and that might yet happen. Let's have a look here at this. That's not going to fly, is it? It says, I don't think I can do that, no. The one I'm thinking about is this, is not that one. It is this one, isn't it? Yeah. So that would end up coming up this way. So, like what I was talking about earlier with occasionally doing a thing where you take, like, especially if this is going to be, if I decide to extend this by 1 block, I would almost certainly take that block in the middle, but for the minute we'll do the 2. And then what I would do is take, for example, that. We'll worry about the texturing later. Let's grab that texture actually and do something like this with it. Should do like something like that to break it up, so as it doesn't get it changes the feel slightly. So like that's what I mean by sort of using blocks to texture, and that's something, I mean, like I say, it's not my idea, it comes from like Splitsie and things like that, but it you know, doing things like that can give a strangely more interesting texture to a build. It look like there's some sort of internal component in there that needs the space. So there we go. How am I doing this? So that one. Maybe Not that one. That one's a possible. You could go with that one. But it leaves you with an awkward shape. You go with that one. And this one is a bit weird to be visible at that angle. Leaves me with that shape, which I don't like the idea of dealing with. You're better off going that way and then coming down with this one. I can come out with that. So yeah, and that to me actually lends more credence to having it another block longer. Because if I had it another block longer, that block would be on the end and this one wouldn't be on the end, and that would give it that more slightly more natural feeling on the shape. So yeah, liking that idea of extending one block longer, even if it's only one block longer on the front or at the top. Get that one block longer and you can come back towards it a bit. Like something like that. Maybe. No, not loving that. Maybe like this. Still not struck on it. You gotta find the right block now. That's the tricky bit. This is where I end up searching through the blocks for ages to try and find the block that I'm happy with. Alright, thanks for coming along, Bill. Thank you for your tips. Yeah. So this one, I'm gonna do, let's start back there and try and come back to doing that in some sort of sensible manner. And going, I mean, this one is almost certainly going to be this block again. And then we'll figure something out in that gap. But then have to figure out how to go from here to here. Again. So you end up doing this one again. I can never quite manage to get this quite how I want it to be when I end up doing things like this. So this one will come down into here. End up having to make some sort of a compromise here and there. Because now not coming forward the extra block and having only the extra block on top kind of works. Because now we're going to be able to get like a little point here on the nose. I reckon. Like that. And that one will bring down. Yeah, and it's all going to come down to kind of a point. And I quite like that. That is not terrible. It's not awesome. but it's not terrible. The problem is now what I do here. This one is going to be awkward. You can't just go like that. Aha! I have a thought. So we'll go like that. To bring that back. And take that one off. And take that one off. Because we haven't got symmetrical block removal. And we are going to put this one in there. In that flavor. Okay, go around again. There we go. It's not my dream. But it's not terrible. Okay. Quite sure why that one's in the wrong way around. So, right. Oh. Give me 2, please. Thank you. Right. New plan. New plan, not like the old plan. I'm gonna go like that this time. And then this one is gonna come back a bit deeper, maybe like this. Because if I do the old one, it's still not quite gonna reach. But then that's gonna line up a bit better. That's not gonna matter because that's gonna go in anyway. And same for that. Better, I like that more. Go 2 again. Sure. Let's grab it from here. Block, block, block. Go with the block. I'm in the drone. That's why I can't get the O2, because I'm in a drone. See? This is because I'm so slack at using the drone generally. There we go. Starting to look like something now, isn't it? I don't know what that something is, but it's starting to look like something. So, sure we can tidy that up a bit. Into something again. Maybe. No. No. I've never found a good use for those blocks. I don't know why I'm even trying. Need to work out how I'm gonna do it. It always come down like that, I guess. So I'm happy for this to have kind of a different step to it. Yeah. That gives you again that sort of textured step. And then what do we do from there? Because the only problem with using those is you end up either having to go like that or do something similar. That, and that one goes the other way, so end up going like... Now I need to go back into the drone again. So I can get a feel for where this is going to line up. Yeah, that should be okay. And then, because I might end up putting a thruster in here, or even two. And then, I don't know, maybe some rocket launchers in there. I mean, as is, some of these blocks would come out and be carbon substrate instead. But yeah, I'm relatively happy with that. That is not looking too bad. Strip that off. Strip that off, that side. And what I want to do is try and bring this out, which we'll do with carbon substrate blocks if we can. Okay, let's get out of the drone. That's what I want to do. And can I have... I thought I made a few more, or had a few more than those. So, because I'll get through those fairly fast. And I've got some kicking around in here. So... Yes, I know, game, you don't like it when it's not the same block exactly. That is going to be... No, so that's going to be a flat one. It says. And then that one needs to be this one. Okay, that one. Like that. And then... I don't know, back again? Or something like that? Oh, I know. No, that wouldn't work. That's rubbish, so it's not gonna work. What do I want it to be? That might end up getting stripped back further. I mean, that works. Coming out like that. What I would have loved is if there was a little square block. There is not a little triangle, I don't think. A little triangle that doesn't have an edge, if you know what I mean. There's like that one, but that is not what I have in mind. There's not just a corner piece, a little corner piece. Unfortunately. Because that's what I'd like to have there. A little corner piece. Because... Yeah, because that's what I'm going to do there and there. There. And then this one needs to sort of slant down. Like that. Like so. and needs the texturing sorted out. But there's no little piece for that. There is no block with the power to fill that gap. Which is quite upsetting, really. I feel like there should be. I feel cheated. Elion. Yeah, not happy with that, Elion. There's no block for that spot. Fine, it's going like that. So we got the two little pincers. Yeah, I'm having that, but that's being carbon substrate. Really? Okay. Yep, it's going to be exactly like that. But like that. Pincerish, spiky. Perfect. Yeah, it sort of makes a feature out of it. It's a happy accident in that sort of way that, you know, whoever that guy was said. No, that was not supposed to be there. There we go. So now I just need that one. Which, see, this is something I'd be really tempted to do. If I was putting another gap up there, I'd be tempted to bring it forward one block. Again, because I do like it when you can do things like that. And then you do things like this, where you take this one and we'll, for here, we'd put in, for example, is it this one? No, not quite that one. Maybe that one. Oh no, that one's not flat enough. It's not what I'm thinking of. It is what I'm thinking of, but that one's not quite as flat as I would like it. Because there isn't a block that fits on there very well either. There's only those. Actually, again with the spikiness, I kind of like that. Oh, I've lost it now. My brain doesn't work. Yeah, then you do that. I could even bring that one forward into thing. We'll look at that in a minute. But then you take this one and you put it on top of there, like that one was. Then this again, you run down along here with this one doing something very similar right here. You would have to bring that line out a little bit more. But you could bring it up and over. But with that, I'm actually tempted, if I was doing that, to go back one more whole block there. So yeah, you go like that, and that one would be a bit like that. Still. Is that how it was, or is that how it was already? That was how it was already. So So you'd be back, that one. And then we'd be doing like that. And like that. There. There. Put something like that down. And then you realise that you haven't fixed it on the other side. Awesome. And then you do it like that. And I kind of like that. Sort of. Not 100%. Having another thought now. Check this out. It says, take that off. Ah, I think I shot the wrong block. That one. Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm gonna do maybe maybe this one. Do that one. Now, is this gonna work? So, is what I'm thinking of here gonna work? I'm not sure these are the right blocks for it. That one. There you go. Bring that back, bring that one up, and we need to do something here, which I'm not sure we can do. This is why creative mode is better. Because now, I'm going to start doing all this. I'm going to be like, I've undone it, then I want to press undo, 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 because I'm not happy. Hi Spiketail, good to see you. And yeah, how would I do that? Is the question. It's how you do that bit. You can't do it like that. And you can't do it like that. Can you do it like that? You can do it like that. That works. So, I did that. Ah, congratulations. Yeah, the abandoned depot POI can certainly suck. It's been a while since I've done it as well. I would be almost certainly getting cooked in that one. So, I think there is nothing that does that shape at all. Because that shape is not it. See, that shape's going to go in there. So you see, really, at that point, you're looking at this shape. There's no transition. Empyrion do not give you the transitions for these blocks. See, now I'm all upset because I want to go from that block to that block and I can't do it. Yeah, assembly yard's pretty tough too. Like I say, it's been a while since I've actually hit many of those POIs. I've been doing a lot more salvaging and looting. Yeah, you see, I kind of liked how it was better now. I don't have a good answer for that, because you can never go from that bloody block to the other one. This is where I end up sitting here and staring at the blocks for the next hour and a half, going, which block? Which block? There must be a block. Maybe add a functional block there, like a thruster. I want to add a thruster in here. But I want to transition nicely. And if I actually did, say, that and that, and took that away, what does that leave me with? Again, not a vast amount. I've still got to transition from one to the other. I'm in the wrong block type. And the other thing is just to embrace the difference. I mean, that's the other way to deal with it. Is just to put that in like that. And say, go with that. And then, sorry. What's under me throat? Need a swig of me tea, that's the problem. And you've got to kind of embrace the difference over here. And see if you can actually see what that block's going to look like before you stick it in. Which is not doing what I want it to do. Like that. I think. Like that. Yeah. Hang on. Hang on. I can make that work. In. No, I like it. I'm sticking with that. Not sure if that was an improvement or not, but I'm sticking with it now. That side I need to fix to be like this side. I don't know. Thoughts? This side? Or this side with this bit extended down? No, I think this side. I think that side is by far superior. So, yes, back to what we were doing. So, not that one. Oh, I keep wanting to press the creative mode button for getting rid of blocks. I so keep trying to press it. There you go. There we go. Bit of that. Bit of that one and that one. Yeah, I'd go with that. Don't even want to take that down. I kind of like that little bit there. Is it flyable yet? Yes, I could move it to a different biome with no radiation, but then I'd have to move this one as well. But it can attach now, so I could do that. I'll have to pick up all these bits. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure I found a biome without radiation. So, not so sure I can. As is, the radiation is only... I'm only getting 0.2 rads. The major annoyance of the radiation is just the sound that we will have to put up with it being radiation sound in the background. So, let's just check this out. That's where the thruster goes. This one, something gonna go there. Something like that. I'll just stick that in. Nope. Right. Really? Really? That doesn't strike me as how that looked there. No, it is. That was exactly how it looked. Okay. Well, from my point of view, I'm going to say we're pretty much there. There's a few little bits that need tidying up, and there's a hole there I might have to deal with in a not too distant future. But I'm not sure if I'm going to put something in here yet. Again, tempted to put like a thruster or something in this zone. But I've got no CPU for thrusters at the moment, so I can't offer it much right now. But hang on, turn that round. See if I put that way. Nope, I'm using the wrong one. That block. And maybe then that block. Perfect. That will be fine. I can blend that in. But yeah, I think with that, I'm gonna basically call that pretty much good to go. We will quickly take another swig on the O2 chamber. I'm gonna make sure the ship doesn't run out of O2, just because that would be unfortunate when I'm driving around in it. do. And okay, we got a few blocks that still need a repair, and I need to do something here because I can't actually physically jump in the back. So I need to do something like, I'd love to put like a half block there or something like that, or a ramp, but I haven't got a ramp. But it's a bit of a bugger to get in. I might need to plug a small hole here. You know, nothing too serious. Not sure about that block right there. What the hell's going on there? You can go, and you can go. I've obviously put the wrong shaped block in there at some point. Which happens sometimes. It's lag shot armor, honest. But yeah, again, and I've done it again because I'm putting the wrong shaped block in there again. It's not even the right. It's not even a full block. There you go. Full block. I will just temporarily plug it up like that. Job's a good one. And yeah, we're pretty much good to go. How are we looking on CPU now? We're 5% over. I can trim something somewhere. Cluster, something. Fuel tank. Few bits. It'll be fine. And there's some blocks here that need tidying up. But that can also be done. I'm sure it'll all be fine. And I'll be able to fix it up. Yeah, I need a ramp there. Unfortunately, I was looking for one. And yeah, maybe I might have seen one in an earlier episode, and I might have taken it apart into bits, but I certainly don't have one kicking around in my inventory at the moment, which is unfortunate. I've got plenty of shuttered doors, but I don't have a ramp. Which is a shame. Thought I would have one, but apparently not. Apparently I must have accidentally scrapped it. But I think with that, we'll turn that one off. And what we can do is quickly go into guard mode for the end of the episode. Or end of the episode. End of the stream. And there we are. Ready to go. Ready to head into space and find ourselves a warp drive and get the hell out of Dodge. And we should be able to carry this little beauty with us. Yeah, I need a ramp block or something for now, but we'll figure something out. It'll be fine. With that, I'm gonna say thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming along and joining me. And yeah, next episode of Empyrion that comes out next Saturday has already been recorded, so there's a few bits. You'll see the ship in a slightly older state, where I'm digging out some thrusters for it and a few other things, but don't let that put you off. And then after that, we'll be continuing from here. So yeah, I need to find some CPU extenders, that's for sure. I would love to get this thing up to T3 as soon as possible. So thanks a lot, everyone. I'm gonna call it a night.